What is going on, guys? My name is Sena and welcome back to another video. If you guys have looked at my community tab recently, you would see that a couple days ago I made a post asking you guys what video that you wanted to see for my next video. The top comment on that post was a video on COMMS and or how to be a better IGL would help a lot. I think a lot of the reason for some people having a bad team is because they don't know how to take charge and be the IGL. I see a lot of people, me included, giving useless calls, so a video that focuses more generally on how to comm and what to comm would be good too. I've been meaning to make a video on how to be a better IGL and give better calls, so in this video, this is going to be my IGL guide for you guys. A lot of people complain that their teams are completely clueless and nobody knows what they're doing, but they won't step up and take charge or try to make some coordination with that uncoordinated team. Teamwork is required in Valorant, and it's something that you'll have to learn along the way if you want to reach those higher ranks. So in this video, I'm going to be giving you guys a guide on IGLing and how to give good comms. Right before we jump into the video though, guys, I want to take a moment to thank Valorant Tracker for sponsoring this video. Valorant Tracker is the most popular all-in-one companion tool for tracking your stats and performance in Valorant. Valorant Tracker has a huge range of features and tools to help you improve. Do you want to check your own stats and see what areas you're lacking in? Valorant Tracker has you covered. You can view all of your KD ratios, headshot percentages, agent KDs and win rates, map win rates, and so much more. Is there another player in your game that's popping off? You can click the live match button in the Valorant Tracker overlay and get a detailed look at all of the players in your match. Do you want to learn lineups or just simple tips and tricks that you can do with a specific agent? Click on the Guides tab and access a massive library of lineups and tricks with every single agent in the game. Oh, did I also mention that Valorant Tracker is completely free to download and use? You don't need to pay a single penny to access the best tool for improving at Valorant. So what are you waiting for? Go down in the description or in the pinned comment and download Valorant Tracker today. Thank you again to Valorant Tracker for sponsoring this video, and with all of that being said, guys, let's get right back into the video. Now, the first thing that you guys need to understand about being a good IGL or taking charge of a team is that there is a very, very fine line between being an IGL and backseating. Backseat gaming is when you're micromanaging everybody and making remarks on every single move. Basically picking apart their gameplay and making remarks on things that just aren't necessary at all. An IGL, on the other hand, is someone that the team has a lot of respect and trust in. Being able to confidently make calls and make strategies while also being respectful and calm to your team is something that you need to understand when you're an IGL. Especially if you're in lower elo, not a lot of people want to step up and be that IGL role, so if you're taking charge of this, you're already putting your team at an advantage over the other. Right before I get into the first tip, I just wanted to say that I personally am not an IGL. I will IGL my team in ranked if we don't have one or no one is calming, but I have not played in a scrim or professional setting as an IGL. This is all information that I've learned after months and months of playing ranked with IGLs and with people who have that professional experience. Getting into the first tip of being a good IGL is to make sure that you are confident in your calls. If you want people to take you seriously in ranked, you need to sound like you're taking yourself seriously as well. As an IGL or just a good player in general, you want to make sure that you're taking note of all of the enemy's habits, where they're setting up, where they like to push, how they like to retake, stuff like that. All of this information is super helpful in deciding what you guys want to do to take site. For example, on Haven, calling for a C split is a very common strategy that works a lot of the time. Usually this will be a 3-2 split where you have 3 people go C long and then 2 people go and clear garage, and you guys take control and pinch the site together so the enemies have to be forced to fight 2 choke points at the same time. A lot of the time in ranked, people don't really think about this kind of pressure and just kind of all run it down, and it can be very hard to win games when you have a team that's very stubborn. If your guys' 5-mans aren't working well or you guys can't seem to take a site, you guys might want to try defaulting and taking map control, or maybe even running a fake if they're rotating very quickly. Again, these strategies will vary game to game depending on the enemy's habits, which is why as an IGL it's super important that you guys are paying attention to that. The second tip that goes really well with this first first tip is to make sure that you are never afraid to make a bad or wrong call. That's obviously a lot easier said than done, but every single IGL makes bad calls and you learn more from bad calls than you do from good ones. If you guys are trying to hit A, for example, and you're getting bombarded by a lot of util, so you call for a rotate but get killed by a bunch of flankers, that's really good information because you know that they like to play aggressive mid and take space on B, so you can run a default and punish them for making those aggressive plays. Like I mentioned earlier, enemy habits are so important to take note of, and you can really punish them if you are able to read their style of play. You can easily learn what type of player someone is just by playing a few rounds against them. The next tip I have for you guys at becoming a better IGL and making better calls is to make sure that you are not micromanaging or over-calming to your team. This is when IGLing starts turning into backseating. A lot of this comes with being respectful as well. You want to be respectful to your teammates. If someone makes a play that you don't really agree with, instead of attacking them or yelling at them for it, try to work with them to make a better play for the next round. If you're dead and spectating your team, don't start picking apart their gameplay. That won't make anyone play any better, and if you do have a remark to make about it, wait till after the round to say it. Your calls as an IGL should be more team focused and what the team should do together, not one specific person or that specific person, unless you want it to be a lurk or a split or something like that and you're managing roles. Again, this really just comes down to just being a respectful and good person at the end of the day. As long as you're kind and respectful to the people on your team, 99 out of 100 times they will show that same respect back to you. The next tip I have for you guys on becoming a better leader is to make sure that you're always hyping up and supporting your teammates when they make a good play or they clutch. If your teammate does something to win you a round or you guys get a really clean round in, make sure that you guys express that to your team to get some hype going and get some momentum going with the team. Team morale is super important, and if everyone's just super quiet and not really talking, it's really hard to keep that momentum going. On the other side of the coin though, you don't want to be over calming and calming every single little thing and cluttering all of the calls so that people can't make their own. I see this happen a lot when people are screaming in their mic about every single thing, and if I'm trying to say something, I can't get that information to my team because other people are drowning it out. Make sure you're keeping your comms as clean as possible and straight to the point. Cluttering comms is not good, and make sure that you guys are trying to avoid this whenever you can. The fifth and final tip that I have for you guys at becoming a better IGL is to watch pro players play ranked, see how they IGL in ranked, and constantly practice. Practice makes perfect. It really does, but you want to make sure that you have perfect practice as well. Fnatic Boaster has really good videos on IGLing because he's the IGL for Fnatic. I've mentioned him in a video a while back, but he's just such a good guy for this kind of stuff. And also just watching streamers and pros play ranked and seeing how their team IGLs and see how they make plays together is also really important for improving as well. Remember that being an IGL is probably the hardest role in the game. It takes a long time to develop these skills, and I'm still learning as I go as well. But as long as you keep at it and keep practicing, you will improve, I promise. Anyways, guys, I think that's everything that I wanted to talk about in this video. In this video, I gave you guys some tips and guidelines to go about being a better IGL and just making better callouts in general in ranked. If you did enjoy this video or found it helpful in any way, make sure you guys go down and drop a like down below and subscribe to the channel if you have not already. We just recently hit 100,000 subscribers here on the channel, and I just cannot thank you guys enough for all of the support that you guys have been showing me on this channel. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you guys, so thank you. I have all my socials linked down in the description below, and I also have a community Discord server. You guys should go join that. Thank you guys so much for taking the time out of your day or night to watch this video, and I will catch you in the next one. Peace out.
But don't you worry, 'cause I'll protect her.